Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel Naka Design. I am going to do a quickie video today. Okay, any regular viewers would know that I'm planning a junket to Winnipeg, Manitoba, to meet Kim Newberg and her entourage of buddies. I'll be going to my very first crop. I don't even really know what a crop is, but hey, I'll be there. And anyway, so I am taping and scheduling videos in advance, so you never even know I'm gone. Now, for the first time ever, I found a Daphne's diary in a thrift shop, actually Value Village. Paid $4 for it, which is kind of high for a magazine, I would say. But then here you can see it was $21.50 Canadian. These things are very pricey, I find. But at $4, I thought, well, let's see what all the fuss is about. Now excuse me, I found this in Calgary. So I was there essentially as a, companion while my husband attended a conference. So my days were free. So I thought, well, okay, why don't I, rip right into this thing? Now I see that it was the third issue. Apparently, I read somewhere that they publish 8 times a year. I don't know what the schedule is, but anyway, 2022. So it's a pretty recent one. Anyway, I thought, okay, let's rip right into this thing and harvest as much as possible, because this is one of those things that's easy to buy and, set aside, never to return to. So I think the appeal to most people is the visuals, obviously. It's a combination of photography, watercolor type images, interesting borders, and so on. So, like, this page looks good enough to eat. Now, it is the cover, inside cover, so obviously a person would have to think long and hard about how to use this. Because, let me pull out a ruler. I love measuring stuff. This image of this cake is obviously wider than a cover, if a person were to use this in a journal. So that cake alone is over 6 inches. So, does this become the cover of a tall skinny? I suppose that's a possibility. How tall is this anyway? It's almost 12 inches, so a person would have to trim top or bottom. But that's certainly a possibility. So we'll set that aside. Because I've never seen one of these before, I would assume that they are all structured in the same way. So just to hold things together, let me pull some of this stuff off, because I did do some fussy cutting already. So in there was this very gorgeous, whoops, upside down, very gorgeous image, and I'll just kind of move it along so you can get the extent of it. It is huge. It's essentially like 4 pages, but what's not to love about this woman with a book, ginkgo leaves, a frame, a feather. So I think, well, let's just get a feel for how big this is. So 12, about 15 and a bit inches, and about 21 inches or so. Now, we wouldn't want to tear her face in half, so perhaps it would be, maybe this would be, well, why don't I just do it? Talk is cheap. Why don't I just do it? So I'm ripping this horizontally, thinking that these can become 2 signature pages. Now they're blank on the inside, so that's good. Let's see, if we got more of her face, let's sort of fold this behind her ear. Maybe if I didn't have all this underneath, you'd get a better look at what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so if we folded this here, and we stuck to about 5 inches, so just barely past her hair. Now, because this is all white on the inside, okay, am I 5 1/4? Maybe a little wider than I intended, but that's okay. So this could become a signature. Okay, now it's too tall for a regular journal. If we put it in a tall skinny, this would be too wide. So let's just say that this would be a signature page. This would fold out. This could be, okay, I'm folding that there. So this could be another fold out on this side. Or a pocket, depending. And then I would probably have to trim. Okay, how tall did I say this is? 10 1/2. So we have to get rid of, well, let's just rip this along the top. We're still keeping her hair intact. Come on. I'm doing multiple thicknesses here. Now this strip could be, of course, used for, you know, as a page edging or collage fodder or something like that. Okay, so it's still too tall, which means, well, I suppose I could rip the bottom off because we already have all these folds going on. So I don't think we want to try to throw a little pocket in there too. So 16 1/2. I mean, I'm talking to myself about what I see on my grid here. Now, normally, if I weren't trying to keep her head intact, I would probably just have, you know, ripped this at one end or the other and had a more usable width of strip. Oh, and that. Oh, well. Okay, so we've got a signature page. And I'll just keep this intact for the time being. Let's make a little pile off to the side. I'll show you what else I've done already because, of course, in the hotel room, I had taken a little pencil case, and I mean literally a pencil case, with some fabric squares, quilt squares, some embroidery floss, a needle, and a couple pairs of scissors. So I fussy cut these little teapots, which are very cute. Actually, they could go into my blush journals. So maybe I will put those there. Now, there was this punch out to make a box, but what good is a box to me? So I think that these will now it's got all those score lines. So why don't we just rip this along the score line? And this can become a cute tag. Now I would probably rip that off as well. I suppose I could be, well, why don't I use scissors? Maybe I'll get a better result if I use scissors. And that will probably have to be neatened up. But anyway, that could become a journaling card. Oh, it's got these little punch outs here. So because those are already there, maybe a person would thread a bit of ribbon, you know, 1/8" ribbon through those holes. This will add to the scrap pile for now. Now, if you saw what I did while I was feeling under the weather, you know very well that I had scraps until the cows come home. And I have learned my lesson. And I am doing far more throwing out of the teeny tiniest things, or trying to deal with the bigger things kind of in one fell swoop, as opposed to just saving. So there's another journaling card, with 2 more holes. So find some ribbon or fibers that fit, and got another thing there. Now these have this is a small little piece, but it's got all those score lines, so I'll just for the time being add this to my scraps. I would think that before all is said and done, there will be enough to do a master board or something with. Okay, let's show you a few more whoops. Now this is rather gorgeous. Why does this seem so tall? Oh, it's almost 12. Okay, they would be using A5 or A4 paper. So that's why this looks so tall and narrow. It's probably, yeah, it's only 8 1/4. So we'll leave this intact because it's got this mason jar here. Maybe, but that would be upside down. Okay, what can we do with this? Can't have it sideways. Ay. Can't have it that way. Well, I suppose this could be turned inside. Forget that ever existed. Let's see, what would be 8 1/2 inches here? 7, so 15 1/2. I would say, okay, 7, 8 1/2 is 15 1/2. So that's roughly, did I make it too long? Yes, I did. Oh, brother. That's how you end up with multiple folds, in case you were wondering. So this could be a signature page. And in fact, if we wanted this pocket to not be so deep, this could be turned back. Sorry, I hope you can see. Could be turned back, and then this becomes a little more in proportion, and it also becomes a little stabilized there. So maybe let's do it this way. So of course now we have a signature page as well. I should be using a bone folder now that I'm back home and have one at my disposal. Now, typically, well, that folded fairly nicely, so maybe that's okay. Typically, I would be cutting that narrow little V out there to remove some of the bulk, but so far this seems fine, so we'll put that aside. This was something that I fussy cut around. This needs to be fussy cut, so I'll add this to my, same with these kids, I'll add this to my pouch, fussy cutting. I salvaged part of this page. Now I could tear that edge and neaten it up a bit. I guess if I'd have been a little smarter, I would have folded a little higher and had my magnifying glass be intact, but oh well, stuff happens. So what I'm doing here is just trying to maximize, you straighten out that where I tore it and it went crooked. This will become, I don't know what this will become, so I won't fold it yet. But of course, just covering this up with something will make it, you know, more usable. So I'll leave this bigger piece with the signatures because it could end up being a small signature page. Fussy cut a few more elements. I didn't do around that cherry stem because that's just asking for trouble. At this point, there's a date. Here are a couple little magazine covers, which, you know, could be the start of. This particular issue was celebrating her 10th anniversary. So there are lots of little cover type icons that I haven't done anything with yet. But these could become, they could be worked into a master board. They could become the basis of little snippets or whatever. So at this point, I'm just sort of collecting them. I salvaged part of this because I thought these little line drawings were cute. I started fussy cutting these and then realized, oh, those are stickers. No need to fussy cut. So we'll put those aside. This was the doohickey between, I guess this was intended to be some sort of a stand-up thing. Whoops, let's me move this out of the way. This was somehow like this. I just cut it off. So this will go with the scraps to maybe end up in a master board. Okay, what else? I've got this, which again is disproportionately tall and skinny, but again, it'll be easy enough to, you know, rip this. So it's 9 inches wide, almost 12 tall. So I will make this, I guess, 11 inches. Now, typically, in a case like this, again, because I have a thing about visual weight, I would leave the wider border at the bottom and do the ripping down to 11 at the top end. So this border becomes narrower than the bottom border. Okay, I'm at 6 there, so 6 and 11 is 17. You didn't know you could come to this channel for math, too, did you? Did you? So this strip will be added to the collage fodder pile. Now this is 9, but that's okay because, well, I've got that ragged little edge there. Let's move this over. See, the tearing didn't go particularly well there. Okay, so what have I got? 9. So this, I'll just take a little skinny bit of this off. No, let's see, 4.5. Yeah, so 9 is fine, but I'll just take it down 1/4 of an inch here just to neaten up that edge. Where's my knife? I used it yesterday. Yeah, whoopsie. We got home, and of course I had to, you know, unpack and think about what I'm taking to Winnipeg. Kim, a couple things about Kim. She has been really good about sort of scheduling all my time. I think she did factor in some time to sleep, a little time to sleep, a wee bit of time to eat. I don't know if she worked in pee breaks or not, but hopefully. And okay, so if this becomes a signature page, I would want this to be the center of the signature, and I would want so that those words are readable. So that becomes that. So 4 1/4, yes, that would be fine in most tall skinnies. So yes, I've never been to a crop before, so she sent me some intel about that. I asked about dress code. I said, you know, I pretty well live in jeans, so, oh, I damaged this, I see, in transit. But look what a cool page this is. So let's trim this down as well to cover that damage, to take care of that, to account for that damage. Anyway, I said I basically live in jeans, so I hope that that's going to be okay. She said yes. There are a couple women that like to wear tiaras. And I thought, well, I've got a tiara. What am I, chopped liver? I could, mind you, it's just like from the party section. So it's plastic. I don't know how well it would travel, but I do have a very beautiful tiara, but I keep it on a ceramic head. And of course, it's not really meant to be worn on a real human head. It's not the right shape. I'm just trimming to get rid of this part that got ripped. These strips for now will stay there. Well, I'll save them until we do a masterboard. So this is 8.5. This is 12. Okay, so let's fold this in half for a tall skinny. And let's figure out how big a pocket we can afford here. So this is almost 12 inches, so we want about 1.5 inches. We can make it a wee bit more probably so that I don't end up trimming and refolding. So what I was saying earlier is that in a case like this, if this is an inside fold, I would do a little skinny little V here, just to get rid of, you can see how skinny that is, to get rid of some bulk there. And this, of course, could be decorated and cover that up. I don't, unless a person really wanted to read about foot baths, but of course it would be on 2 separate pages, so not that useful. Let's just double check this. Yeah, we're in good shape there. Oh, so back to Kim. So when I got home, I started watching some videos and saw that Kim is just a hair away from 4,000 subscribers. She's announced a giveaway. You can enter until the end of March, so I'm quite safe and still talking about it. So if you haven't already subscribed to her channel, you really should, because she has interesting content. She's the brainchild behind Thrifty Canucks and the hashtag Happy Mail movement that we're all so much enjoying. So go to her channel and subscribe. She also has a coffee shop with a lot of freebies and a member-based component to it as well. So I think together we can get her to and over the 4,000 member or subscriber mark. So do that. So it's Kim Newberg, just the way it sounds. Okay, now these are lovely pages because look at, there's a month by month thing here. Now, you know, fussy cutting any of this would be great. Now on this page, I suppose I could, because there's that beautiful watercolor rooster. Let me just hold this up to the light. Oh yes, of course. He's right where this road, or whatever this is. Helibor. So I would say, now if we folded it again to try to make it signature pages, which is the only sensible thing to do here, and not lose any images. Okay, this we don't care about, although that is kind of cute. Okay, we've already determined okay, let's see what would happen. Again, I'm lining these 3 pages up with my grid, so that's at the 6. Now, what I could do to keep, let's change the order here so I can see what's going on. Now, if I took off I could just rip this border off and keep this all intact. It would definitely work there. It would work there. It would work 1.5. Yeah, so okay. I said that these pages are nearly 12. They're 11 3/4. So I won't bother using my grid. I will just do my ripping based on where the imagery is. So I'm going to, well, I guess I will use my grid to make sure that the line I'm ripping is straight. Let's pick a line here. Whoops. You know what? I'm trying to keep these together, but that's probably foolhardy. Try not to be foolhardy if I can help it. Okay, I'm going to take an inch off here. So I'll be in good shape with this first one. And look at this loveliness. Now, this is wide enough that it could be a page edging. Oh, and look, good on both sides. We'll set that one aside. And what have we got on the other side? This is where we have that border. And this is kind of neither here nor there. So let's turn it over. And take more off on this side. Again, I'm lining up my bottom edge. I would want to take off about, so this is almost 2 inches. I don't want those words, so I'm going to do this. Checking that I'm still squarish. So I've got this and I've got this. Add it to my pile. And because, okay, well, let me do this last one and then I'll show you what I'll do with that page I just did. Now here we want to clear, we don't care about the other side, we want to clear that, oh, that's if I burn them. So again, I've got a lot of this light pink border, and in fact, I could use certain, and maybe I'll put that aside. After this is over, I will go through these scraps and see what would lend itself to my, to the never-ending Blush Journals project. I hope we're not celebrating our first anniversary with those guys. I need to finish that. Okay. So, oh, we've got the rooster. We don't want to lose the rooster. This is 9 inches. So, at this point, theoretically, I could fold this. Okay, I think if I fold it to keep these little boxes intact, what happens to the rooster? This could be trimmed. Now, if I did it this way, the rooster, probably not going to be able to save everything. So in this case, I think I will sacrifice the rooster to save the, or if I did it like so, I'm keeping November intact here. I'm getting a bit of that flower. I'm keeping all of that intact. Now this is going to be narrower than, that's only 3 3/4 roughly. So that could be the size of that. Oh, now that guy's head is over there. This side becomes too wide for a tall skinny. So I'm just going to see how you have to talk your way through this, through all these decisions. Now this becomes a little flap, or I guess it could be ripped off if necessary. So if we were, let's pretend we're actually putting a journal together. Anything else that, okay, these other pieces are shorter, although I could, does this have a right side? No, I mean an up and a down. Okay, what do we have here? We have 10 1/2, so these could easily be, and that is, okay, well, let's rip this down the center. Maybe this becomes like a signature cover, since there will be 2 that essentially look the same. Now this one has the Daphne's Diary thing at the bottom, but that's probably A-OK, or it could be covered up at the last moment. So this can become a signature cover. This can become a signature. Now these pages aren't arranged the way we truly would, but look, there's the center. Now we still have this, and we don't care about the back, or I don't care about the back. I think it would be nice if this becomes an actual journal, which it should. Do I want, okay, how tall is this now? 10 inches. Yeah, that's probably fine. Well, no, let's do it this way. Then these outer sides could either be left intact, I suppose. But this would be like this, could be the center. So let's put that in there. Oh, how wide is this? Well, for the time being, we'll leave it as is. But you know how things tend to push out. Now, well, let me not discourage you. How wide is this? I haven't trimmed that edge. So yeah, this 4 1/2 is going to be too wide here. However, well, I don't know how long we've been at this. 32 minutes. Yikes. Okay, but I guess you're getting a feel for what I would actually do here. Now this corner is a wee bit crinkled. Crinkled path. Crinkled. It has a slight fold in it. Hi, Carol. I'm going to just take a hair's breadth off this so that it stays as wide as it can be. Here I'm at the 12 inch. Actually, I'm going to trim it right at 9 inches. Just clean up that edge. Make this as wide as it can possibly be. If there's still something showing that shouldn't be there, that could be covered with lace or ribbon or something. Now, you know what? I better not try folding this. But then what do? I try folding it right as I'm saying. I shouldn't try folding this. Let's see if I can pull this price tag off. You know, back if you're old enough to remember or have paid attention, I guess switching price tags became a thing. So that's why they came up with these things that, you know, turn into 6 or 8 pieces to avoid or to prevent that from happening. So thank you, shoplifters everywhere, for making our lives more complicated. Well, not shoplifters, I guess. Price tag switchers. So that's why we end up with these kinds of things. Oh, that came off fairly. I mean, it takes forever, but it does come off fairly cleanly, I guess, off cardstock. Anyway, I hope that you are well. I hope that you're going to go visit Kim's channel. I also hope that if you are enjoying my content that you, and haven't already done so, that you choose to subscribe because, hey, I may be a few thousand behind, but my next goal, of course, is the 1,000 mark milestone level, whatever the word is. I can still, no, I won't waste any of your time doing that, but I can still feel some residue there. Now, should I break my own, not follow my own advice, and see if I can fold this without the page cracking? Maybe it'll be, I won't do a very sharp fold because, of course, we want it to be able to accommodate. Yeah, there's a bit of breakage wanting to happen, but it gives us a better idea of what will fit in here so far. Now, of course, you can see that page is, as I predicted, that page is too wide. So what do we have here? We don't really want to cut off the bird's tail, but I already folded it. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Well, let's see if I can take off just a bit. A 1/4 inch should do it. And I guess if a few tail feathers have to be sacrificed, oh well. Oh well. Rather than having another fold in the paper. Because you know, anyone who's made a signature knows that those inside pages get pushed out. Now we have this as well. How are we doing for height? Oh, I already trimmed that. Okay, so there's more on this side than this side, so let's just take some of this off right off the bat, and then we know that we can, maybe I'll even take 3/4 of an inch off on this side. Then we know that wherever I fold it, it's going to be good. Oh, more luck than brains on that one. This has that little, you know, that edge when you pull out something that's just been glued in. Let's see if I fold that. The text boxes are kind of intact. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's almost as though she laid out the magazine that way. Okay, so we'll just tuck that into our imaginary journal for now. I'll show you a few more things and then we better stop. Okay, there are these, I don't know if these were intended to be, I think they were intended to be, this is cardstock, intended to be cupcake or muffin holders or something. See, they have a little slot and a little notch. I didn't fussy cut these yet, but I mean, I don't need cupcake doohickeys. So what I would probably do is use either one side or the other of these. You know, that curvature is a bit of, you know, there will be some waste, but okay, so know that I will be probably fussy cutting these out, so I'll add that to my fussy cutting pile. What else have we got here? This is another page that's a combination of some cute old photos, some lovely watercolor cakes and desserts, along with a coloring book kind of component. So this, okay, I'm not gonna, you've seen enough of my, or seen and heard enough of my thought process to know that I'm going to be trimming and folding. So I'll just do that on my own. Here we have something, again, with this 10th birthday thing. I'm running out of space here. I think that I would just salvage those bits of pattern. So that's probably, mind you, there are all these photos that could be cute. Maybe I would fussy cut those photos with the hope that quite a few of them end up with a plain enough background that they could be, you know, journaling cards as is. Might fussy cut that top. And there's a roller skate. Let's see how wide this is. If I kept these three intact, well, it's too wide to keep as a horizontal belly band. But maybe some of these could be grouped. Okay, if these two stayed together, they could be like a pocket. These three could be a pocket. So I'll, again, fussy cut page. This is, I don't know what this was supposed to be. If this was supposed to be a party hat thingamajig. Of course, look at this, how beautiful. This is my preferred side, of course. So maybe this could be pretty hard to have your cake and eat it too with something like this. I don't know. I think this would become a signature page, so I'm going to put that there. This is something that I obviously salvaged, so this is like collage fodder. It's got that confetti stuff there. This is another piece of cardstock, and this is a cake box, which I thought, I don't know, this is kind of weird. To me, that's more like a pie-shaped thing, but whatever. So, again, there's a lot to be, some decisions to be made here. So I think with this one, we haven't really made any tags, so to speak, have we? So let's see what we have here. So we know that this will be 9 inches. Too tall to be a bell, or no, 8.5. Okay, so that could be a belly band. Let's do that. So essentially we're just bypassing that thing there. Now there's that teeny tiny pair of scissors, but that's okay. That can be covered with something. So that's a belly band. Now, what can we do here? I would say, okay, 8.5 by 9 3/4. So 4 1/4 is half. Why don't I just cut this down into quarters and let those be journaling cards, since they are, so 4 1/4. So they are, since they're on cardstock, since they are cardstock weight. And then what did I say? 8.5? No, 9 3/4. So what's half of 9 3/4? Well, let's just pull out a centering ruler and see. Ow, 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 ow. Since I rearranged this drawer, it's a little harder for me to quickly get at these things. Okay, so no, it can't be 5. How about 4 7/8? That's pretty darn close. So, oops, I'm not holding that very straight, am I? Not splitting the atom here, but there's, okay, I just made a mark, which means that I now, if I line this up on my grid, making sure that it's really squared up, I can cut this with gay abandon and know that it will be, that they will be virtually identical. And of course, now these things need to be decorated in such a way that this is disguised and that's covered. I don't know if that cake box, if those cake box words will stay there. Oh, I need to do this one as well. I could just do this. And then there go 4 journaling cards or 4 pockets or whatever. Oh, we should take a peek at the back side, because there will be those cutting lines there that may or may not work. Well, I don't know if you saw that. Would you be distressed? I don't know. I guess that's a call to make. No, I would probably, see, I have that cutting line there, so I'd probably trim that off. But a person, I would probably also round these corners. But again, you know how that works, so you don't have to see it. So I'll do the same with this. Show you a couple more pages and then let you go. Now this, oh, these are some pages that, I was going to say that are freebies. Well, they're hardly freebies if you pay over 20 bucks for the magazine. But what I could do here, we've got quite a few pages for that tall skinny. So what I would do here probably, okay, I'm at the 8 mark. So 16.5 would be 8.5 inches. What do we have on that side? So I'm going to just cut this to a height that would work as a regular signature page. I now have this to do something with. I fold like so. And I have a signature page for this imaginary journal. Again, this kind of doesn't really go together, but I just keep them intact so that I kind of have some semblance of understanding of what is going on. Again, it doesn't. This kind of reminds me of, well, those are limes, I guess, but I don't know. Did you see the flip through that Pam Van E did? She's doing a giveaway, and she did this lovely springy, such a fresh looking journal, because it's sort of lemony colors, lemon themed and bee themed. 3, 6, 7, 8, a quarter, half. So yeah, she's doing a giveaway right now, and that paper reminds me of her journal. If she said what she was celebrating, I missed it. But maybe we don't need a real reason. Or, you know, a giveaway is a great thing at any time, with or without a reason. So here's another signature page for this guy. What's going on here? Okay, I don't care about those happy birthday things, but here I would, oh, I know. Okay, I better watch the time. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I'll just tell you. I will salvage this border. I'll fussy cut this pile of books. I'll probably cut out that T. That will probably be lost in the shuffle. Yes, it will. So that's what that will be. So let's add that to the fussy cutting page. Now this is the back cover. So obviously this could be a great journal cover as well. This could be even lovelier, perhaps. So yeah, this will be trimmed. I'll add it to my pile for trimming. What's this? Something stuck on here. So you can see that, yes, this is an expensive publication. But since I only paid, I only paid $4 for it. So I'm kind of getting my money's worth, I would say. And of course, there is still all of this that I haven't even tackled yet. So, you know, a person could fussy cut around these images. Oh, here's some more scraps from Masterboard. You know, fussy cut around that. Is that lavender? Those macarons. This is the index. These are the index pages. So look how cute that is. You know, so again, combination of photography and watercolor type images. That's a sweet pea. Here's some kind of a border around that. So see what I mean about all these little covers and these little sort of thumbnails? Those could be cute too. Balloons. Just give you a quick, oh, and these miniatures. Look at these little teeny tiny miniatures that this woman makes. There's a coin, and that gives you a scale for how tiny it is. Look at her fingers and compared to those little desserts. So there was quite a look. Here's a little typewriter made out of clay. More bread. These could be fussy cut. These are sort of, I guess, a replication of those stickers that were included. There's a bow to cut out. Here's a seashell themed border. This lovely cymbidium orchid. I don't know why some of these are smaller pages, but I guess this really is a magazine that keeps on giving. Look at this. These jars of candy. A waffle cone. Strawberries and flowers. Another cake. These little guys that could be, well, what's on the other page? Let me not get too excited. Yeah, I'd probably fussy cut this side. You know, it's those decisions that are sometimes tough to make, but even this eggshell or that cone flower. A page like this would be easy to sacrifice. Oh, and because I sort of ripped the covers off, I can do this, which means that these pages come off a lot easier. So in a case like this, where I've already predetermined I don't care about this, then I know that I've got this to use. Which, there's a beautiful watercolor pepper. I mean, that could be a signature page. More peppers. I could just fuzzy cut peppers. Okay, I said I would show you and get lost. Okay, so this obviously is more desirable than this commercial, essentially. So this, you know, even if I just fold it roughly like this and do the trimming later, I know what I'm doing there. Anyway, I better stop because this could go on forever, and it already has. So, oh, and isn't that great? And here's another one of those pages. And this, of course, could be trimmed down. And, oh, yeah, well, no, I wanted vertical. So I was going to say maybe it would go in a smaller journal, but no, I want it to be vertical so that it stays intact. Anyway, okay, I'm really stopping now. And you say to yourself, likely story. Anyway, I hope that this has been a bit instructive to you. Now, this magazine may be, you know, a little bit like the Somerset Studio magazines, or those that are, you know, expensive but image rich. I think it could also apply to many more normal type magazines as well. So I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope that if you have something like this in your couldn't I just have gone away? Ugh. Would have been smarter to separate it first. Some recipe cards. Could have saved the border. These could be cards to stick in a pocket. Oh, that was supposed to be a jewelry box. Hey, and I need this for my blush journal. Okie dokie. Thanks so much for joining me. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.